Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today we're looking at something that is now quite old, has become incredibly collectible, and is very difficult to find, especially in this mint sealed condition. We are looking at the 2005 release by ToyBizz from their Marvel Legends series of action figures. And these action figures were all figures or characters that had appeared in the Marvel comics. And this particular one we're looking at today is of Bishop. And Bishop was one of the X-Men. And his first appearance was actually in the Uncanny X-Men comic. And he's also appeared in one of the X-Men movies. Okay, this is the figure in front of us, and this is the card it comes in. And at the very top, it's got ages 5 and up, and it's Apocalypse series. So it's part of each figure from the Apocalypse series contained a piece to build a huge 20-inch, or was it 20 inch? It might have been 16-inch. Figure of Apocalypse. Each character in the series contained a piece. And the top right hand corner, you've got the Marvel logo, and it says super poseable, 38 points of articulation. Now that is incredible articulation. And you got a bonus, you got a 32-page comic book which features Bishop from the X-Men. And it says, collect all 6 Apocalypse series figures, and build your own giant Apocalypse. You can see down the bottom here, and this is a piece that comes with this particular figure, but you can see the size difference. Now, Bishop is 7 inches tall, and you can see the size of Apocalypse. So you double that, 14. This is about 16 inches Apocalypse. It says this package includes the lower torso of Apocalypse, as you can see, it's highlighted there. And it says Marvel Legend Bishop. Okay, so that is the front of the packet. Let's turn it round now to the back, and let's have a read of what we got printed on the back. Okay, so I've turned the card around to the back, and I apologise for the bright light at the top there. It is actually where the light's on it, so I'm trying to give you the best view as I can. I'm just going to lean it forward a little bit so we can not see that reflection. And at the top it says Marvel Legends, and you've got the power grid for Bishop. And it says intelligence, which is 2.5, strength is 1.5, speed 1.5, durability 1.5, energy projection is 5.5, and fighting skills is 4.5. Height is 6'6" or 1.98 meters. Weight is 275 pounds or 124.7 kilos. His eyes are brown sometimes, and his hair is black. Okay, and it says, his life ambition was to serve and protect as a member of Xavier's security forces, a mutant police force. He patrolled the mean streets of a war-torn future to keep his own kind in check. Now he finds himself stranded in our present, fighting alongside the X-Men, a team whose members he once revered as idols. Standing in defense of those who hate and fear him, he is Bishop, soldier of the atom. And his special ability was energy absorption and projection. Okay, so then we've got the other figures, or all the 6 figures in this particular series, and all of them come with a piece of Apocalypse, who's in the mid-center there. And from each packet, you will get a piece of Apocalypse, which you assemble to create that huge 16-inch figure. So the other figures in the series, you got Maestro, Sasquatch, X-23, Iron Fist, Wolverine, and of course this one, which is Bishop. And it spills your own giant, so it's 14-inch, 36-centimeter Apocalypse. There we go. So it's not 16 inches, 14-inch. Okay, and at the bottom, it's got meets or exceeds all safety requirements, proof of purchase, barcode, and Bishop. Some assembly required. It says we constantly improve and update our products. Sometimes as a result of these improvements that is seen on the package may differ somewhat in colour and content from the product inside. You got all the 2005 Marvel Entertainment's copyright information just below that. It's distributed by ToyBizz Worldwide, New York, made in China. and it's item number 71169. And you've got ToyBizz and the worldwide logo, CE markings, and you've got the Vivid Imagination sticker that's been placed on top of that, who were the UK distributors. Okay, that is the front of the card, or the back of the card I should say. Let's turn the card back around to the front and let's have a good look at Bishop himself. Okay, I've zoomed right in to Bishop, and there you can see, and actually let's just zoom a bit closer to his facial features. I'm just going to tilt him up a little bit so we can see his facial features there. And my goodness me, doesn't he look cool? I'm just going to put the camera down and angle that a little bit better. There we go. So there you can see Bishop, and my God, he looks absolutely incredible. Wonderful facial features, exactly as he appeared in the comic strip. Now the hair is removable apparently, as we saw on the back of the card. There is an image of him with his hair and without his hair. So eyes there are red, white teeth, but it's a very, very good image, and he's got the M marking on his forehead. Let's come out a little bit. You can see him with his big bulging biceps. Let's just tilt that back down a little bit now so we get rid of the light. His big bulging biceps, arms, and in his striped police officer's Xavier's enforcement uniform there, all the way down to his belt accessories, and down there, legs and his holster on his legs there, and back at the top there you can see just behind where it says 32-page comic book, you've got his two weapons, which we'll have a closer look at in a moment, and just behind there you've got the Apocalypse piece just here, which is the lower torso, as you can see on the image just there. Okay, now the figure says on the figure 30, let's just get onto there, 38 points of articulation. So can you imagine the movement ability on this figure with 38 points of articulation? I mean, that is incredible. We come to that in a moment, because obviously this is a sealed figure and I can't remove him. But what I do want to do is I want to turn the card to the side there and just show you his weapons. If I just zoom in on his weapons, you can see he's got his large pistol and his small pistol there, and the large pistol fits in the holster, and just to the side there you can see the lower torso of Apocalypse there. And if you look at the size of that Apocalypse torso, it's almost the size of Bishop. So there we are, 14 inches Apocalypse will turn out to be. Now, as you can see, unfortunately this figure is still sealed in the packet and I can't remove him, but I don't have a Bishop in my collection, unfortunately, so I can't show you a Bishop. But in my collection I do have this particular figure. Now, he's not from the same series. This is a Marvel's ToyBizz figure of Juggernaut. So he's not from the same series, but he is in my collection, whereas he also has 38 points of articulation. So I just wanted to show you this figure so you could see all the points of articulation. Now you can see each finger moves, so you've got 4 points of articulation just on the fingers on each hand. So both hands you've got 8 points there. You can see the twisting of the wrist there, and again that's the same on both arms, and obviously the joints here at the elbow move as well, and you've got the ball joint arm at the top, and that's the same on both, and the same elbow there. Now this particular one's also got the button at the back, and if you press the button you can see his arms move backwards and forwards, so that's another point. If I just remove his helmet, so you see you've also got movement of his head there, and then you've got the moving forward and back of the torso, and of course the movement of the waist, which is there, and that springs back also. The legs, ball joints again, so they can turn in any direction and be sitting in any way, and the same on the other leg. And then of course you've got the knee joint again, which moves there. and also the foot which moves and the toe sections which move. So the articulation is absolutely stunning on these figures. This particular one obviously has got the removable head, so you can have his face out, or you can put his not head, sorry, his helmet, and or you can put the helmet back on. There we have it. So that is the articulation, and then of course size wise, so we're looking at about 7 inches, which is what this one is, and which is the same as Bishop, and the crosses size wise about 4.5 inches, and depth wise we're looking at about 3 inches, or this particular one, because he's got the button on the back, is a little bit longer, so it's about 7 centimeters, but I think they're usually about 6 centimeters. So there we are. That's my Juggernaut figure. Very, very similar to the articulation on the Bishop figure, and certainly the same size. So let's move him out of the way then, and let's go back to Bishop, because it's all about Bishop, not about Juggernaut. Okay, so there we have Bishop. So, question you're asking me, how well did this figure do back in 2005? Well, Marvel Legend figures back in 2005 were extremely popular. We had a standing order with Vivid for Marvel Legends as soon as they come in, and we had cases of each of them shipped to us as soon as they were in the UK, because we had customers that pre-ordered these figures back in the day. That was before we went further into vintage toys, and we would at that time we were still selling current toys, but obviously the business has changed somewhat now. We're more into vintage. We don't do any current stuff anymore, but back in the day we used to, and we did move a colossal amount of these figures. As I say, we had a lot of regular customers that would place these orders for these figures. As soon as they heard these were coming out, they would be ordered, and the stock used to come in and go straight out the door, and there was very rarely anything left after the pre-orders had been filled. So difficult to find, and obviously all these Marvel Legend figures were limited edition. They only run them for a short amount of time before moving on to the next figure, hence keeping their collectability and their value as high as possible, and that's carried on over the years. So yes, they've done rather well. They sold out very, very quickly, and consequently a lot of people went without having a figure at that time. Okay, let's move forward 20 years to where we are today in 2025. Do these figures come up often on the platforms? Well, yeah, you do see them on the platforms. Most of the time you see them on the platforms as loose figures, without the comic book and without the torso of or the piece of Apocalypse. You just see the figure, and I've seen a lot of these figures on the platforms, and most of them, to be honest with you, they're minus the weapons also. Oh, also, one thing I haven't pointed out on this particular one is there's little pegs on his hands which enable him to hold the pistols very well without the pistols coming away. So just another little pointer that I didn't mention when we was looking at the figure itself. So yeah, a lot of these appear on the platforms, just the figure itself, without the weapons, without the book, and without the torso of Apocalypse. They occasionally appear like this one, complete sealed in the packet, but not very often, and usually if you do find them like this on the platform, they sell very, very quickly. And as usual, as I say, always be careful when ordering on a platform, because you may not be ordering a new item like this. This may be what you're looking at, but you may be ordering a used item if that's all that the platforms have available. So if you see it says used, click the used icon and read what it says, because that will be the item you'll be receiving, and not the item that's not in stock, not the new item that they don't have in stock. So rather than be disappointed when the item arrives, do make sure you read the information as provided. Otherwise you could be disappointed, and it happens over and over again. I have a lot of customers that I talk to say that they ordered this item from one of the platforms and they just got a loose figure, despite the image and the description showing it's being new, and I do try and explain to them that, well, you know, be careful on the platforms. But yeah, we hear it time and time again, so do be extra careful. The ones I'm talking about really are Amazon and eBay. Not so much eBay, but more so Amazon, because Amazon do have a tendency to use a lot of stock photographs. Some sellers on eBay also do. I think most of the other platforms don't, and they insist on that you use your own images, which is exactly what we do on our website. We don't believe in stock images. We use our own images, so what you actually see on our website is exactly what you will be receiving. Yeah, just be a bit careful on the platforms. They do occasionally come up like this, but not very often. More so if you just want a loose figure to display in a collection, then you can pick loose ones up quite easily on the platforms. However, if you want an item like this, you can come to us at Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. Like I say, we don't believe in stock images, so what you see is what you're actually going to get, and you will know from all of our videos and our information that these items are in pristine condition. They're case fresh, and they were former stock, shop stock items that were never put on the shelf and never sold. And this is one of them, and this particular item is available on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website, where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Marvel Legend items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely positive that this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you're looking for, something old that you're never able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful, wonderful Marvel Legends Bishop action figure with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.